Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Doctor Stone Season 3, Episode 4. Oh man, I took a little bit of a break before, between recording the last couple that I watched. I mentioned in those that I was recording ahead to take a little break, so last I saw was the whole reveal of them getting a transmission of Y from an unknown source. Seems like Senku theorizes it's the mastermind. It was such an intense and, exciting scene, because, whenever we learn that there's more out there, I got really hyped when we learned about Kohaku and that whole group of people, and now potentially there's more out there, but the mystery of what it could be, because it could just be how is this technology around to broadcast something still, right? Who's maintaining it? I theorize my very distant theory, right, is some kind of AI that was made beforehand that has little robot droids things that can clean up the facility. That's my way out there theory, right? Obviously, my other theories are Senku, what Senku said being the mastermind. Maybe he wakes himself up from stone because stone halts the aging, so he could have a system that, if he's the mastermind, that turns him to stone, removes it every 5-10 years, and he does some maintenance on the building, cleans it up for maybe a few months, and then can turn himself to stone again. And maybe he's been doing that for 3,700 years, but really only 5 years has passed for him since this whole turning to stone happened. But either way, we've expanded the range of our cell phone, which is something that I talked about in a previous episode of them maybe having to do now that they're going to be traveling, and if they're going to be setting up more settlements in other places potentially, because they want to free a lot of people eventually, so they're going to need more space than Japan has. So, but yeah, very cool stuff. We had Chrome seeing the size of the world, and the being out in the ocean and not even be able to see land anymore was a very cool moment as well. So I'm very excited to see where we go from here. I know we're still a long way because the ship is still being built. It still looks like it's pretty far from being completed, unless we quickly time skip, but it feels like we're still a good chunk of episodes away before we're going to actually find out what this radio message means and all that. But I'm looking forward to just enjoying our characters and seeing where they go from, where they go next, and just to hear them go back and talk about this some more, maybe. So, anyway, let's get started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh. So they're already aware of it. She says that so excitingly. Yeah, why is a weird thing to spam? I didn't catch that, went too fast. It's Kingdom of Science something. Has an S on the building. I wonder if that's Senku's home or something? I don't know. Okay, we're having a meeting to talk. Cool. Nice. Our generals. I love his reaction. You can hear him. Oh, man. I like that team up, though. It's crazy that Ryusui just kind of came into the picture and just so quickly became a member of their, inner circle. So generals are Chrome, Senku, Gen, Ryusui, and Ukyo. I'm sorry, Ukyo. I swear I didn't forget you for half a second. Sorry for squeaky chair. Readjusting. I'm sorry. I need to get a new chair one of these days that doesn't squeak every time I move. I just actively try my best not to move through a whole reaction, but sometimes I gotta readjust a little. Alright. Eyes of Science. What does that mean? Binoculars? They called the Eyes of Science glasses before, right? The poor doggy. Why, man? Alright, let's talk about this. I mean, I have my theory. Right. Right, there could be. Right. That makes sense. Oh, it stopped. Okay. What? The Eyes of Science? They cover big eye. Oh. Oh. Nope. They're getting real smart. Is that a projector? No. Or is it? A display. Cathode ray tubes. Nice. Wow. Nice. Oh my god. I loved him with a giant ass beard. Science can be perceived as magic. This is insane. Oh, that's so cool. It's gotta be crazy for them to see just that, you know? For the people that... from the original village, Ishigami Village. So they're gonna translate the message in a different way? Nice. Helicopter. Okay. Damn. Whoa, that's crazy. We are getting pretty damn high tech. Oh my god. Such a creepy portrayal. Oh. What? What? He figured it out. It's like a fish finder. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Oh. Jeez. Radar and sonar acquired. Alright. And they're one step closer to being able to, like, eventually recreate TVs and stuff. What are those? Are those whales or dolphins? Man, I can't believe all that fish fit on board. I like how Chrome's just laying down on top of it. Alright, we're back home. What is that contraption? Is that how they're storing the boat, maybe? Nice. Restaurant Francois. Oh. Oh my god, of course. Of course they're gonna think that. I'm interested in science now. I think Chrome. No, I think Chrome has an idea of how to use it, right? Yeah. What is he gonna come up with on his own? Mmm. Damn. I can't wait. But that's gonna be heavy, isn't it? You gotta be careful. Yeah. Oh shit. Back to using them. Yeah. Oh no. They've used almost all of it from the river. Is he gonna try to use it for mining in a way? Yeah. Hmm. Oh! Seems like it worked. I love Chrome coming up with ideas on his own. Like, if you talk to Senku about this, Senku might know what he's making, you know? Oh, we're back to what they call it? Like Bald Mountain. Yeah, there we go. Oh, nice, there's a cave here. Maybe it doesn't have enough of a range. Oh! Oh, is he gonna lower it down? Cool. Nice. Is he gonna show Senku now? Oh, he brought the phone. A metal detector, okay, cool. Oh my god, they just sent him right down, holy shit. No hesitation. Iron deposit, awesome. Hell yeah, tons of iron. Oh my god, whoa, look at that! That's crazy! Mine acquired. God damn, how much time has passed? It's gonna take a bit of time to make all those paths and build. Look at the lighting and everything. That mechanism they made. That's wild. Dude, I love this. This is so cool. He's having the time of his life. Damn. Is that all iron? How are they gonna fit all this on a wooden... Oh. Oh, we need a better way to move it. Time to make conveyor belts. Pooling our strength, okay. Oh my god. Our jacked boy. What's next? How many more things could we do in this episode? Distribution network. Oh. Roads of some kind, or... Oh my god. Oh my god, did they just front flip? Roads? Oh, yeah! Holy shit! Pavement! Holy shit! Wow. Dude, this is crazy! Gas mask, nice. Nice. Gorilla! Oh. The strong people. Oh my god, freaking paved roads already! It's gonna be such a smooth ride, for the most part. It's still gonna be a little bumpy, but so much better than what he was doing before. Alright, what are we doing about the boat situation? Crossing the river? Oh my god. It's always been that way, yeah. That's cool. Awesome. Oh! He has no shoes on? What'd they set up? What did Kaseki do? But he did the opposite. What'd they set up? This show's so fucking good. Oh! Minecarts! Hell yeah! How do they get back up, right? Because it's going, like, downhill, right? That's terrifying that they're, like, bouncing off the track. Oh, man. Awesome. I wonder if Senku has thought of the possibility. I literally just thought of this just now. Um, like with the speed of their progression, I was like, my thought process went like, yeah, you just can't stop them now. Like this progression is going way too quick for Y-Man to stop them. And then I was like, wait a second, what if he just did another wave, turning people to stone? Do you think Senku has thought of that? I feel like he must have, right? And if he did do that, I wonder if Senku has some kind of plan, right? They all had a split second, maybe a little longer than a second, where they were like seeing the green in the distance approach them. I wonder if Senku has some kind of plan for if that were to happen again. Or, I mean, hell, knowing Senku, he'd just stay awake again. He knows the deal. Another 3,700 years passes and he breaks out. They did say that he had some help from the bat guano. The nitric acid landing on him. It wasn't the distilled through alcohol form that he makes that works instantly, but it still had a hand in breaking him out. But him staying awake was another part of it, right? Like burning enough calories while his brain was awake. It was something like that. So, I don't know. But that's something they haven't really talked about. Oh, that's cool. Whoa. That's awesome. Alrighty, guys, that is it for episode 4. And I was watching that end thing and I saw the title of the next episode. I wonder if we're going to be speed running to have the vehicle and the ship done in the next episode. But either way, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this episode because it was jam-packed. Dude, I freaking love this show. Like, they can have sometimes their like somewhat slower episodes where we're kind of goofing off a bit. But, like, I still absolutely love those episodes. But then we have episodes like this where, like, we had our talk about the Y-Man in the very beginning. That's, like, one of the things I really wanted was them talking about it, and I wanted to see other people's reactions to hearing about this. And we got both of those right away. And then they instantly went into making a cathode ray tube, CRT, and turning it into a radar, which they then used to be able to get food, used it as a sonar. Chrome figured out to make it, I'll talk more about that in a bit, but Chrome made it into a metal detector. Like, we moved so quick, and then, you know, oh my god, I guess I'll talk about it right now, but I love Chrome making things. Like, I absolutely love that. It even though he could have said something to Senku, and Senku could have, you know, gave him the answer, but I like that he just enjoys science so much that he doesn't need that easy way out. Like, so much of today's problems are fixed for me just by Googling them, right? I sometimes, I shouldn't say that, I sometimes figure things out on my own just using the general knowledge I've acquired from, like, most of the stuff I fix is computer related because that's what I know best. And all that, but other times I do just Google the answer if I try my hand at it for a few and can't fix it. But, like, the idea of Chrome just having an idea and going off and experimenting with it and all that is just really neat how clever he is, and he's able to come up with these ideas. And I know Kohaku kind of bashed him a little bit for being, like, in the group of the generals, but I think it makes sense. Like, he knows where everything is. He's able to, you know, use what Senku has taught him and what he's seen through all of these people doing their thing and use it to his own gain in creating things. Like, if something were to happen to Senku, I feel like with all the stuff that Chrome has learned, he'd be able to, like, do some crazy things. Like, obviously, there's limits, right? There's limits of things that he doesn't know are even possible right now that Senku does, but, you know, he'd be able to keep everything running and expand on it at the very least, I feel like. So, but yeah, that was really cool having that, like, group, and I actually wanted to go back and see the very beginning where they put that sign up. Because I wanted to see what it said, because it was up for, like, half a second. Why are they spamming Y? Why is what we want to know? And then they put the sign down, and boom, Kingdom of Science War Room. Okay, I saw Kingdom of Science, and then it went away. I like how there's a little the manga artist is putting it up there, and probably he has probably decent handwriting or whatever. This he might be the one that made the sign, and there's a little drawing on it, which might have been what he might have did that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so it's a war room up there. So I guess the S is just for science. That's fun though. But yeah. So love Chrome making things. Jumping back to the beginning again because I did kind of gloss over it. Them talking about the Y-Man, I'm glad they addressed the idea of like how do you live this long, and they did say, I'm pretty sure they did say like he could be petrifying himself. Now they did say just the one time, they didn't go into details of being, I went into the details of being like he could have come out every now and then because I guess because how would he have known that Senku broke out and started building stuff, right? Like to be able to broadcast the message why. Like he wouldn't if he broke out at the same time they did, how did he know to break out at that exact time? So it's definitely something to think about, which is why I think that he woke up every so often and like maintained his equipment or whatever. And that's why he already had the technology to send out this message as soon as it picked up the signal that Senku put out, right? Or the Kingdom of Science put out the signal. But either way, certainly interesting. I cannot wait to learn more about him, and we are actually speeding so quickly along that I do wonder if it's going to be sooner than I expected. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for all of that stuff, and the fact that they stopped the broadcast too. Like that means it's not just because they said it came on after they already had the. It's like they had the signal going and they were talking to each other, and then the broadcast started. So it's not something that's been broadcasting this whole time for 3,700 years, right? It's something that he started when he felt the signal from Senku. So, but yeah, and then it stopped, and it's been silence ever since. But yeah, all the inventions going past like Chrome finding the iron deposit with the metal detector was awesome. And then I love how they just came in, they created a mine shaft, they realized that transporting it was going to be a problem, so they set up a whole distribution network. They started paving roads, like they said, 90% gravel. Now, sometimes I know they like emphasize the speed, like the speed we saw the road being made. I can't imagine, like it obviously wasn't really being made that quickly, but time is just kind of an illusion in this show. It doesn't really matter how much time has passed, but I imagine it did take some time for them to do what they did, right? But yeah, having the paved roads is really cool. Like as soon as he said we're gonna set up like a distribution network, and it showed like the lines going through Japan, obviously my first thought, like I've been thinking about roads for a while, right? Like ever since they talked about how many days it takes to get from one place to another, and different stuff like that. I think ever since they built the first vehicle and they were having issues getting up the hills and everything, and they got like stuck on rocks and they had to like push it over like a rock that the tire was caught on and stuff like that, I thought to myself like they need roads. I might have even said it out loud. But yeah, they're already making, using asphalt, which is a byproduct of oil, which they're, already getting it anyway. They can use that with 90% gravel in order to do their thing. So and get the pavement going and everything. It's just really neat. I love the idea, like how fast we're progressing. Like we now are starting to form paved roads to create these networks, and we have this we have like the mine carts now, and in the mine we already saw they had like a whole mechanism made using like each side, they're like balancing it back and forth in order to drill or whatever it is it's doing. I don't really know what that mechanism is doing, but just so much stuff being created and invented so quickly. And that's the thing, is like sometimes I do get sad we're not like slowing. We did slow down a little bit when we made the CRT, and they kind of showed how it worked and everything, but we haven't had like a roadmap in a while, and I do kind of miss that little bit. But that's the thing about science, is once you have like all these little things made, you can combine them in different ways. Like, they already pretty much had everything they needed to make it. It's just a matter of throwing it together, which means they don't really need a roadmap. They just need to throw it together. And that's, once again, it reminds me of some of the Minecraft mod packs I've played, where it has like all the technology stuff in it, where you can build like different kind of like generators, and you get pipes, and you can automate like the production of stuff. You start off really slow and methodical and making all these things by hand, like kind of like they did in the show. And then as you get farther, you start automating different things for you, and eventually you just grab those materials and make more things, and it's like it just starts to like speed up exponentially. So I just love that. The mine carts, I'm curious how they get back up. Do they have like a powered system that gets them back up? Because obviously it's like a downhill slope. I honestly don't really know how mine carts work in real life, how they get back up. Like, I understand using gravity to get them down, but yeah, that's something that maybe we'll see, or maybe it's just like, oh well, they know how to do it and they have it set up, so it's fine, and all that. But yeah, I love it. I love how fast we're progressing, and they talked about setting up all these different like factories and labs and stuff like that. They showed like these fancy machine places and everything. And they talked about putting all these systems on a boat. I wonder if they're gonna start thinking about making the boat out of a different material other than wood, because my biggest concern is, how are you gonna have all that machinery on a boat to take with you? On like a wooden boat, I feel like it could sink. So I wonder if they're gonna work on making a whatever. I honestly don't know what like the big boats are made out of, right? Is it like a form of iron, aluminum sort of thing? I don't know. But I wonder how they're gonna manage the weight of wanting to put all these like engines and everything on board that can be able to run their sonars and everything. That seem like they take a good amount of power, because batteries won't cut it, he said. So I guess we'll see. But I also like the idea of using it as a sonar to be able to catch fish and everything. Like, so many different uses for this. Using it as like a fish finder, throwing a net in when they get a big reading, and catching a bunch of fish. Because like they said, if they can, because they're bringing food to preserve, right? They're bringing preserved food that will last a good amount of time. But if they can manage to make that last longer by also fishing and foraging and doing other things while they're on their journey, then they could make that food last even longer, assuming they don't go past its expiration date, right? They said they were going to make it last like 10 months or whatever. But at least like you won't have any fears of running out, right? If you're also fishing and doing all these extra things. But yeah, anyways, absolutely loved it, guys. It was so fun just seeing them speed run through all these projects and getting that mine shaft going, and we have a ton of iron now. And I'm glad they did address the idea that, they've been making all this stuff and they've still been using the iron sand from the river, and it's starting to run out. And that's the problem with non-renewable resources in our world, is, you gotta go find more or recycle things that you're not using anymore. Like, I'm sure they'd be able to melt down some iron like in the future, right? Like, years down the road, they might be able to melt down some of their old projects and turn it into, or repurpose them or whatnot, and reuse some of the materials. But there's only so much you can find in the earth and everything. Granted, I don't even really know how all that is like formed and how it came about in the first place, right? Like, I don't know enough about that kind of thing. Like, was it like a certain amount of pressure and heat in certain places? Did that like create iron, or has iron just always been there? Is it possible that after the 3,700 years more iron was formed, or are they just finding old iron that we never got around to mining before we got turned to stone? I don't know. But And with all like the shifting Earth and everything, it might have just been something that wasn't found, but because new caves have formed and new landscape and everything, now they're finding it. But I don't know enough about how those materials are created. They talked about it a little bit in one of the episodes, talking about like the lava flows with that big like almost like stalactite looking thing coming down of like multiple colors, and it was all different materials all like mixed into one. Like that seemed like it might have been something that was created, so maybe it is something that gets created over time and more has been made in the 3700 years they've been turned to stone, but not like we've used all of what we have anyway by this point in our lives. So but anyway, we haven't exhausted the Earth of its resources yet and killed off the planet. But it's coming soon. Anyway, awesome episode. Love it. Love the roads. Love the distribution network and using the boats. I love them talking about Japan having the, like, utilizing the fact that it's like a thin island and they have water all around it and everything, and kind of showing like its trade network that it has set up. And I never really thought about it like that, right? Like we just have trucks that deliver. I mean, we have boats that deliver stuff too in the States and everything, but you know, if you're in like the center of the States, you just need to have planes or trucks that bring the stuff. So it's definitely interesting having that concept that I don't really think about much because it doesn't super apply to us, is that they can utilize the water to transport things all around Japan and everything. So very neat. That's going to be it from me, though, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. Links in the description below. Should be popping up on the screen. And I will see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.